it's time we head back to Canada. There's an artist who is French Canadian and Moroccan, with French being his first language. Ian Arden, a new to me artist. Don't know of this artist, but I was asked to check out one of his songs. Shout out today is for an anonymous music fan who was so kind to support me on Buy Me a Coffee. That is also where you can go if you want to make sure your suggestion gets on my desk. Please check out the requirements and read through what it takes to guarantee a review. But I'm excited to check this out with you. Ian Arden. And I'm going to check out the song called Nadia with you. Are you guys ready? Go check out Ian Arden on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe here too for more music from around the world, psychology, philosophy, music for your mental health.
Can I tell you a story? It's a tough one to tell. Kids kept calling her crazy. Now she's on Seroquel. So her friends treat her different, lest the boat rock too hard. But their Stepford wife smiles, make her put up her guard. Nadia, 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 it's all in your head. Nadia, 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 did you hear what I said? We would flee to the forest back when Chrétien was king. Poised in porcelain porridge at your chickenpox christening. Now you're sleeping in tiles, pushing people away into neat pillbox piles. A pharmacist's payday. But the overcoats don't care. Hear them coo laissez-faire, with their rosaries prim for prayer. Nadia, 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 it's all in your head. Nadia, 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 did you hear what I said?
Let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Nameless, unreasoning, unjustified terror, which paralyzes needed effort to convert retreat into advance.
Nadia, 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 it's all in your head. Nadia, 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 did you hear what I said?
Nadia, 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 it's all in your head. Nadia, 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 did you hear what I said?
Wow.
There's a lion in her soul,
It's all in your head.
she doesn't even know.
Nadia,
There's a lion in her soul,
did you hear what I said?
she doesn't even know.
Nadia,
There's a lion in her soul,
it's all in your head.
she doesn't even know. Oh no, there's a lion in her soul, she doesn't even know.
Wow. 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 This was very beautiful. I love the contrast between the girl on the left and then her, I would say maybe shadow side, or that that struggle that depicts the inner turmoil she's experiencing. And I love the storytelling here. Very Ian Arden has a very unique voice, and I love then also how the vocals were being stacked, the harmonizing, how that crescendo of the instrumentation, the musical composition, and also the vocals brought in a more dramatic element in the sense of it could go either way. That climax, that crescendo could lead us to despair and destruction, or it could lead us to something hopeful. And here it took us to something hopeful in my mind, The Lion Within. But we'll talk about that in a second. I love how the composition was this journey from a compositional standpoint. Like I said, the crescendo, the harmonies kicking in, but also the lyrics, the songwriting. It took us from a young girl who is told from early on that there's something wrong with her. And I love how it goes back to the root of a lot of issues. Yes, sometimes it's really a matter of chemical imbalance, and medicine and therapy, those things can be really helpful for people who struggle with their mental health, who have a personality or some type of mental disorder. But I also think that there's something to be said about the way that we are raised, that whole conversation between nature versus nurture, our environment and what we're told, and the way we may or may not internalize that can affect how we start viewing the world, others, and ourselves. And here I'm seeing this picture of a person, a girl that's told these things, internalizes what other kids say, told there's something wrong with her, grows up to now be on medication. This conversation in verse 2 about what I perceive to be the corruption of the even pharmaceutical industry, where now she's on these medications and they have their payday from it, and she is taking all these things which make matters worse. That is not to say that some people don't need medicine and it helps a lot of people, but there is something to be said about not being so quick to throw medicine on it like a Band-Aid, and to understand we are holistic beings. It can't just be medicine. It can't just be, well, if you just worked out and ate right. It can't just be, well, if you just have someone to talk to. It needs to be all of the above. Where is there time for nature? Where is there time to talk about things? Where is there time to be silent? Where is there a time for us to think about what we're putting into our body, nutrition-wise, food-wise, movement? Where is there a time to talk about community? A lot of people are hurting and they think they're crazy when they're not. And they actually have a lion inside that needs to be woken up, and they need someone who will just be their friend. So I love the conversation here because it sheds light on where maybe this all started for Nadia, but then also looking at what's being done to help her and how sometimes that makes things worse because she's lonely and she has this whole battle in her mind, and it's in her head, and she is battling at war with herself, with her own mind. And to then in the bridge, so hopeful and beautiful in that crescendo, to say there's a lion inside of you. There's a lion within you. You don't even know it. There's a lion that to me, I'm taking this as, and this could be taken two ways. The lion could be one that's roaring with destruction and despair, right? There's something dark and strong and ferocious within you. Or maybe to say, and that's what I'm leaning towards, there's a lion within you, as in there's a warrior within you. You are not broken. You are not weak. There's nothing wrong with you. What you were told and the way you were just dismissed, it was wrong because you're actually beautiful. You're actually not broken. You are human. And there's a lion within you. And maybe we can encourage that lion within to arise, to start roaring like that phoenix that rises out of the ashes, that lion that wakens up and says, no, wait a minute, I am valuable, and I'm not going to keep listening to those voices in my head that tell me I'm not enough, or something's wrong with me, or I'm crazy, I'm broken. I love the quote by the famous speech by Franklin D. Roosevelt, where he said the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And I loved that because that too was a powerful conversation about how a lot of times the things that hold us back is those paper tigers, that illusion of thinking something is out to get us, or those fear itself that keeps us stuck. This idea of I'm crazy. So if I'm crazy, then I'm going to think I'm crazy and I'm going to act like I'm crazy. If I think I'm broken, I'm going to operate from that place. If I am afraid, it's going to hold me back from stepping out and letting that lion within me arise. The thing we have to fear is fear itself. And there's lots of things we can talk about that powerful speech alone. But in this context, I'm seeing an encouraging message that says, hey, it's all in your head. There's a lion in you that needs to be woken up. You just don't know it yet. And I love how then the paper that was burning, as everything was just burning and decaying and fading away, that starts being undone, and the flames start going backward, and the words started reappearing. She just doesn't know it yet. It's this idea of taking back your power. And sometimes all it takes, and not to oversimplify the process of healing. Again, we are holistic beings that need many things, and it takes time. But I love breaking it down to the point of having a person speaking to the life of another saying, hey, You just don't know it yet, but there's a lion within you. It's in your head. And almost like, I even like the idea of that repetitiveness of calling her name, reminding her who she is. Nadia, Nadia, Nadia. The voice that's calling out to her, telling her she's crazy. And here you have, in contrast, a voice that's calling out to her to speak truth into her life. That's powerful because that's what we all need. Someone that will speak truth back into our lives and call us back higher and encourage us. What a unique song. Composition-wise, very beautiful. That folk, very unique and a very powerful message. Thank you for this suggestion, music fan. What do you guys think about this one, guys? Subscribe here. Go check out Ian Arden, and I will see you on the next ride. Ayo.